Ooh-wee. Where we are right now in our country, in our society, in our states and cities is very important that we come together. This thought of the day is going to help us come together and work together because there is strength in numbers. I know that's a cliche statement. In context, there is strength in numbers. We are stronger together than we are as individuals. Many of us have families, we have businesses, we have agencies, we have jobs. The success that we are looking for is not going to take place without us. I'm going to share one component with you that is a roadblock. It's an internal roadblock that manifests externally in messiness, division, projection, and stagnation. Offense. We have to stop being offended by other people's habits because habits are habitual. Habits are patterns of behavior that have manifested into lifestyle. When a person says something, when a person doesn't say something, when a person does something, and when they don't do something, it could be because they have the habit of saying and not saying. They have a habit of doing and not doing. What sometimes occurs is we project ourselves into other people. We project ourselves into other people's lives, and our thought is, it should be done this way. It should be said this way. He shouldn't have said that. She shouldn't have said that. She shouldn't have did that. When we subconsciously impose our values, our belief system on another person, and they don't meet that expectation, it becomes an emotional response of offense. Now I'm offended because I have this expectation in my mind that I did not communicate verbally to you, but you supposed to reach this expectation magically. You're a mind reader. You supposed to know this already. And because you didn't know it and you didn't do it, now I'm offended. Or you said something that I feel, keyword I feel, that you shouldn't have said. Now I'm offended. You did something that I don't believe you should have done. Or there was no clarity. Let me show you how to combat this. I'm going to show you how to combat offense in a natural, practical way. Ask questions. I'm going to give you a hardcore example. There has been times where I get invited to places, specifically from a community aspect. Maybe a person sent me a message and that person didn't clearly articulate or communicate what the event was going to be or what the experience was going to be or who was going to be there or the objective of the meeting. I arrived there and based on my communication with the person, I looked around. What is this? But it was never clearly defined. I never asked questions. I came because a person that I considered as a friend invited me to support someone else. Now, in my mind, what could have happened was what could have happened could have been this. He knew what he was doing when he sent me that message via email, via text, whatever the communication method was. He knew what he was doing. And I leave you with this. That is the thought that we have to get away from. It's a projection. When that person said that, man, they knew what they was saying. When that person did that, man, they knew what they was doing. That is a projection. That is an assumption and a conclusion without doing your research, without doing due diligence, without asking the questions. Even though in the scenario that I gave you, it was brought to me, I was invited. It's still up to me to ask the questions to get the details about what this experience is going to look like. Because whatever I understand the experience to look like is going to be my expectation of that experience. We get offended because of, in this aspect, we get offended because the communication wasn't clear. And we're looking for the person that started the communication to give us clarity, but we didn't ask questions. I think it all comes down to in this in this context. I'm speaking specifically about offense in this context. I think it all comes down to communication and not projecting, not assuming, not coming to conclusions without communicating with that person. It is so easy to be offended because our reference point can be past offenses, and we build and we stack these ideologies on top of each other until it transforms into a building that is reflective of a belief system. And as I posted earlier today, the sky is not the limit. Our belief system is. This is Mr. Cage. Be great at what you do, but aim to be greater in who you are.